Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today to honor two lifelong servants from the state of Nebraska, former Speaker of Legislature Ron Withem and his wife Diane. Speaker Withem is retiring this month from 2 decades with the University of Nebraska, where he has served as the Associate Vice President for University Affairs and the Director of Governmental Relations. As we see the end of one's historic career, we are reminded of the positive impact one person can have on so many. Ron and Diane Withem have selflessly dedicated their lives to the state of Nebraska, both in educating our youth as well as through the legislative process. The impact they have made on the entire state of Nebraska is evident all around us in Nebraska. The story of Withem's is one full of many accomplishments. After moving to Papillion, Ron and Diane both became respected teachers in our local school district. Prior to entering politics, Ron was a teacher of history. Diane spent nearly 4 decades teaching in the Papillion, La Vista schools, and prepared many students for college and success, including my own Chief of Staff, Mark Dreiling. As leaders in our Democratic Party, Diane and Ron's political journey began in 1976 when they campaigned for Hess Dias from the U.S. Senate primary. Later that year, they both worked for another former 2nd District Congressman, John Kavanaugh, in the general election. Following Congressman Kavanaugh's victory, Ron served as a congressional aide in his local office. By the 1980s, Ron was a member of the Papillion-La Vista School Board and was a member of the Papillion Planning Commission. When the legislative seat in District 14 became vacant in 1983, Ron was tapped by Governor Bob Kerrey to serve out the term, and serve he did. Ron Withem dedicated 14 years of his life in our legislature, serving as the chairperson of the Urban Affairs Committee, the chairperson of the Education Committee, and the high mark being his election as the first Democratic Speaker since 1970, which happened in a Republican majority body of our officially nonpartisan legislature. During that time, he rose to become one of the most well-respected voices in our unicameral, proudly working on issues that he was passionate about and that would have had a profound impact on our state. Some of his accomplishments are easily visible, such as the Harrison Street Interstate Exchange. Working alongside local elected officials and business leaders, Ron's strong advocacy paved the way for what is now one of our most vibrant areas in the district. A leader among leaders, Ron was instrumental in sponsoring and guiding many other important pieces of legislation into law. He negotiated the state's first major reform in K-12 educational funding, sponsored legislative granting tuition waivers for veteran dependents, led efforts to improve accessibility and the transparency of our elections, and he worked to create Nebraska's first bone marrow drive system. Through his years in public office, he was well respected by both his colleagues as well as his constituents. Ron was known for his uncanny ability to remember bill numbers, the year a bill was discussed, and even the most minute details surrounding the debate. As his former aide, Michelle Waite, said he might be a donkey, but Ron had the memory of an elephant for sure. He was considered a master legislative strategist who knew how to pull together a coalition from both parties to get the people's business done. After 14 years of serving in the legislature, Ron went to work for the University of Nebraska. During his tenure, he made a tremendous impact in our state by leading the university's legislative relations strategy. He also was the force behind building a healthier Nebraska legislative initiative. The result of this initiative was a new cancer center, veterinary diagnostic center, and a health sciences center facility. Ron was one of the architects behind the compromise that transferred the Nebraska State Fair grounds to the University of Nebraska for the development of the Nebraska Innovation Campus. This public-private partnership leverages university research for economic benefit, all the while preserving one of the history of our state fairgrounds. His colleagues at the university talk about the tremendous respect for Ron. He is known for building quality relationships with others and his ability to meet daily challenges with positivity. Ron once said, "My goal is to communicate to policymakers the enormous value of the University of Nebraska brings to the state and its people." His passion for the university and the success of Nebraska's youth motivated him to work in higher education state relations. His achievements in higher education state relations did not go unnoticed. At the Higher Education Governmental Relations Conference in 2013, Ron was awarded the Marvin D. Swede Johnson Achievement Award, a very prestigious national-level award. As a fellow citizen of Papillion, I want to thank both Ron and Diane Withem for their positive impact that they have made serving our community and our state. Mr. Speaker, I yield back the balance of